You know what breaks a woman long before exhaustion does pretending she's fine while her soul is quietly starving. There comes a moment in every woman's life when she looks in the mirror and barely recognizes herself anymore. Not because she became weak, but because she spent years being everything for everyone except herself. She carried families. She saved relationships. She tolerated disrespect. She swallowed heartbreak with a smile so nobody would call her too emotional. And somewhere in the middle of surviving, she disappeared. That is the moment rebuilding begins. Not when life becomes easy, not when the pain stops, but the second you finally say, I cannot keep abandoning myself to make other people comfortable. I need you to hear this deeply. The strongest women are not the women who never broke. The strongest women are the ones who shattered and still chose to rebuild with trembling hands. Because rebuilding yourself is terrifying. You start losing people who only love the version of you that stayed quiet. You stop over-explaining. You stop begging for crumbs. You stop shrinking your intelligence, your beauty, your voice, your ambition, just so insecure people can feel powerful around you. And suddenly people say you've changed. Yes, you changed because suffering taught you what silence costs. There's grief in becoming a new woman. People don't talk about that enough. You grieve the years you tolerated less than you deserved. You grieve the younger version of yourself who thought love had to be earned through sacrifice. You grieve every time you apologized for having needs, but healing demands honesty. And honesty sounds like this: I am tired of betraying myself. That sentence changes everything, because the woman rebuilding herself begins to understand something powerful. Boundaries are not cruelty. Rest is not laziness. Walking away is not weakness. And choosing yourself is not selfish. It is survival. The world trained so many women to believe their value comes from how much pain they can endure without complaining. But your worth was never supposed to be measured by suffering. You do not have to prove your goodness through exhaustion. You do not have to earn love by disappearing inside other people's demands. And maybe the hardest truth of all, some people benefited from your lack of boundaries. That's why they become uncomfortable when you finally grow one. But growth will always offend people who preferred your silence. So let them misunderstand you. This next chapter of your life cannot be built on guilt anymore. It must be built on truth. The hardest betrayal a woman ever faces is not always from others. Sometimes it's the slow, quiet betrayal she committed against herself while trying to be loved. There is a moment in rebuilding where everything becomes painfully clear. You stop blaming only the world, and you start seeing the ways you stayed too long, gave too much, ignored every red flag, and called it love when it was actually survival. That realization can shake you, because honesty has a cost. When you finally sit in silence with yourself, you begin to see the truth you avoided for years. The relationships where you begged for consistency, the friendships where you overgave just to be included, the environments where you performed strength while slowly breaking inside, and you ask yourself, how did I abandon myself for so long? The answer is never simple. It was fear. It was conditioning. It was the belief that being chosen mattered more than choosing yourself. It was the hope that if you just tried a little harder, they would finally see your worth. But here's what rebuilding demands from you. Now, stop romanticizing what hurt you, because your nervous system does not lie. Your body remembers every moment you felt unseen, unheard, and unimportant. That tightness in your chest when you had to explain your feelings for the 10th time, that was truth trying to reach you. And truth always whispers before it screams. There is grief in admitting you accepted less than you deserved. But there is also power in it, because now you are no longer confused. You are awake. And awareness changes everything. You begin to realize something profound. Love that requires you to shrink is not love at all. It is control disguised as affection. It is attention mixed with inconsistency. It is closeness that costs you your identity. And you were never meant to lose yourself to be close to someone. Rebuilding yourself means accepting this uncomfortable reality. Not everyone who had access to your heart deserved it. That truth will sting. But it will also set free. Because once you see clearly, you cannot unsee. And once you cannot unsee, you cannot go back to pretending. This is the beginning of your emotional honesty. And emotional honesty is where your real strength starts to grow. There is a breaking point every woman reaches, not loud, not dramatic, just a quiet moment where your heart gets tired of running after people who never learned how to stay. Rebuilding yourself begins the day you stop chasing. Not because you stopped caring, but because you finally realized caring alone was never enough to make someone show up for you properly. You remember the pattern clearly now. The mixed signals, the delayed replies, the emotional distance you kept trying to understand, the excuses you made for them while silently abandoning your own peace. And you thought love meant patience. But it wasn't patience. It was self-neglect dressed up as loyalty. There is a powerful shift that happens inside a woman when she stops over explaining her worth, when she stops proving she is worthy of consistency, when she stops sending messages that are never matched with effort. At first, it feels like withdrawal, because your nervous system is used to chasing, used to hoping, used to that addictive cycle of maybe this time they will choose me fully, but they don't. And one day, something in you snaps, not in anger, but in clarity. You realize if someone truly values you, you don't have to beg them to act like it. That truth hits differently when you stop romanticizing potential, when you stop saying they could change and start accepting what they repeatedly show you. Because consistency is not complicated. People either show up or they don't. And you cannot heal in environments where you are constantly questioning your place. So you begin to withdraw your energy, not to punish them, but to protect yourself. And here is where your power returns quietly. You stop double texting. You stop overthinking silence. You stop waiting by your phone like your worth depends on a notification. And slowly, something unexpected happens. You begin to feel yourself again. The woman you lost in chasing starts coming back. Her laughter feels lighter. Her thoughts become clearer. Her energy stops being scattered because chasing drains identity and stillness restores it. You realize you were never too much. You were just giving your depth to people who lived on the surface. And now you understand a peace is not found in being chosen by the wrong people. Peace is found in no longer pursuing those who keep refusing to choose you properly. There is a quiet kind of exhaustion that comes from always being understanding, always being the one who adjusts, always being the one who forgives first, always being the one who swallows her needs so the peace doesn't break. And one day, something shifts, not because life gets easier, but because you finally realize you have been apologizing for things that were never wrong. Your feelings, your boundaries, your need for clarity, your desire for consistency, your expectation to be treated with respect. You start to see it clearly now. You were taught to believe that needing less makes you easier to love. But that was never love. That was conditioning. Rebuilding yourself begins when you stop shrinking your needs just to keep people comfortable. When you stop saying it's okay when it's not okay. When you stop laughing off things that quietly hurt you just to avoid being called too sensitive. Because here is the truth that changes everything. Needs are not weaknesses. They are signals of self-respect. And every time you ignored your needs, you weren't being strong. You were slowly disconnecting from yourself. At first, it feels uncomfortable to speak up. Your voice shakes. Your heart races. You worry you are asking for too much. You worry they will leave. But pay attention closely. The people who benefit from your silence will always call your voice too much. And the people who truly value you will never punish you for expressing what you feel. This is where your rebuilding becomes real. You begin to say things like, I need clarity. I need consistency. I don't feel okay with that. That doesn't work for me. Simple sentences, but powerful shifts because you are no longer negotiating your worth. You are no longer making yourself small to maintain access to people who are emotionally inconsistent. And something unexpected happens when you stop apologizing for your needs. You start attracting relationships that don't require you to abandon yourself, not because the world changed, but because you did. You stop choosing people who make you question your value. And you start choosing yourself with the same intensity you once reserved for people who never reciprocated it. That is not selfish. That is restoration. Nobody really tells you this part. Healing is not just becoming stronger. It is also learning how to grieve the life you thought you would have with people who never met you halfway. There is a strange sorrow that comes with rebuilding yourself. It doesn't always look like crying. Sometimes it looks like silence. Sometimes it looks like staring at old memories and realizing you were trying so hard to turn potential into reality. You grieve the version of them you kept believing in. You grieve the conversations you rehearsed in your head but never had. You grieve the apologies you never received. You grieve the years you spent hoping they would finally understand your heart. And maybe the deepest grief of all, you grieve the version of yourself who kept waiting because she believed love meant endurance. She believed patience would eventually be rewarded. She believed if she just loved harder, stayed longer, explained better, something would change. But it didn't, and that realization doesn't just hurt, it reshapes you. Rebuilding yourself requires you to sit with that grief instead of bypassing it. Because if you don't grieve what hurt you, you will keep romanticizing it, and romanticizing pain keeps you stuck. There will be moments when you miss them. Not because they were good for you, but because familiarity feels like comfort, even when it was costing you peace. That is where many women relapse emotionally. They confuse missing someone with needing them. But missing is not a reason to return. Sometimes you miss the idea of being chosen more than the reality of how you were treated. And that is an honest moment. Because healing doesn't ask you to become cold. It asks you to become clear. You begin to understand something painful, but liberating. Not every connection is meant to be repaired. Some are meant to be understood and released. And releasing is its own kind of love. Love that says, I no longer abandon myself to keep this alive. There is power in letting go without resentment, without revenge, without needing to be understood. Just quiet acceptance. I loved you, and I choose myself now. That is the turning point. Because grief doesn't mean you are going backward. It means you are finally telling the truth about what happened to your heart. And truth, even when it hurts, is what rebuilds you. There is a version of you that got buried under survival. She didn't disappear. She just learned to stay quiet so life wouldn't hurt so much. Rebuilding yourself begins when you start digging her out. Carefully, slowly, honestly. You start noticing small things first. The way you laugh a little differently now. The way your opinions feel more cautious than they used to. The way you hesitate before speaking, as if you are still measuring whether your voice is safe to use. That is not who you truly are. That is who you became to survive. And now survival is no longer enough. There comes a moment when you ask yourself, where did I go? And the answer is not mystical. It is emotional. You went into hiding every time you were not heard. Every time your boundaries were ignored. Every time you were made to feel too much for simply being human. So you learn to reduce yourself. But rebuilding demands something different. It asks you to stop adapting for comfort and start returning to authenticity. You begin reconnecting with things you abandoned. The way you used to think freely. The way you used to dream without limitation. The way you used to feel before fear started editing your emotions. And it feels unfamiliar at first. Because authenticity is loud after years of silence. You might feel guilt when you start expressing yourself again. You might feel fear when you stop over-explaining. You might feel resistance when you choose yourself without asking for permission. But that discomfort is not danger. It is identity returning. You are not becoming someone new. You are remembering someone old. The woman who didn't apologize for existing. The woman who didn't question her worth every time someone misunderstood her. The woman who trusted her inner voice before the world taught her to doubt it. And here is the truth that will anchor you. You were never too sensitive. You were just deeply aware in a world that rewards numbness. Now, you start honoring that awareness instead of suppressing it. You stop asking, how can I be easier for others to accept? And you start asking, what parts of me did I abandon to be accepted? That question is the beginning of reclamation, because rebuilding is not about becoming better for others. It is about becoming whole for yourself. And every time you choose truth over approval, you bring her back a little more. There is a painful illusion many women are taught early in life. That love means enduring things that quietly destroy you. Rebuilding yourself begins the moment you break that illusion, because there is a difference, one that changes everything, between love and tolerance. Love expands you. Tolerance shrinks you. And for too long, you called shrinking being understanding. You tolerated emotional inconsistency. You tolerated being ignored and then called dramatic when you spoke up. You tolerated half-effort relationships and called it patience. But your nervous system knew the truth long before your mind accepted it. Something always felt off. That heaviness after conversations, that anxiety before messages, that confusion when actions didn't match words. Those were not small things. Those were signals. Rebuilding yourself means you stop negotiating with signals. You stop saying, maybe I'm overthinking, when your body is clearly overwhelmed, because overthinking is not always imagination. Sometimes it is awareness trying to protect you. And when you finally stop confusing love with tolerance, a deep shift happens inside you. You begin to see clearly love does not require you to constantly explain your pain. Love does not make you feel unstable. Love does not leave you questioning your worth after every interaction. Real love feels safe, not perfect, but safe. And that is where your standards begin to rise, not from ego, but from truth. You stop staying in situations where you are emotionally drained just to prove loyalty. You stop calling it loyalty when it is actually fear of starting over. Because starting over feels scary until staying costs you your identity. And one day, you realize something that changes your entire life. You were not asking for too much. You were just asking the wrong people. So you begin to choose differently. You choose clarity over confusion. You choose consistency over chemistry. You choose peace over potential. And it will feel unfamiliar at first because your nervous system was trained for chaos. But peace is not boring. Peace is what safety feels like when you are no longer abandoning yourself. And slowly, you stop surviving relationships and start building ones that don't require you to suffer to stay inside them.